What is up everyone, and welcome to some more F1 23 League Racing. We are here for the penultimate round of the Streamers and Co VRL, and we are going to be at the Brazilian Grand Prix. Phil is away for a couple of weeks, and so I am actually the lobby host for these last couple of rounds. We're going to be in Brazil this weekend. It's going to be a sprint weekend, and if you watched my most recent My Team Career Mode video, or not my most recent one I guess, but one of my most recent ones at the Brazilian Grand Prix, then you'll know that I am feeling pretty good going into this race because we actually got a win there. Yeah, it was a very, very strong race for me. I don't think we're going to be capable of doing that here in the league because Dougie Falcons and Dustin Bruins are of course racing today, but I do think that we still have a very good chance of you know, maybe getting a top 5 or something like that. I think it's not out of the question. There's some very fast people in this lobby, but I still think that we have a good chance of getting a good result. So first quali lap, obviously fresh set of tyres. We only use fresh tyres in this short qualifying format here, and it's a 109.1. Definitely felt like a 108 was possible, but not to be on that lap. However, my second flying lap was much better, and I was very, very happy with this one. Actually felt like I didn't leave too much on the table, and we improved by almost 4/10 to cross the line to a 108.7. And yeah, I mean, we're looking good right now for potentially a good qualifying performance. Currently in P6, and yeah, maybe one more run left to go. And you can see that I was 2.5 tenths up, but then I make a tiny mistake on the exit of that corner. I just get distracted a little bit by Beak in front. You know, he wasn't blocking me or anything like that. It was just a little bit distracting. Caused me to pinch the curb to the inside a little bit too much. And we went from being 2 tenths up to 2 tenths down. And in the end, that caused us to qualify P8, when I think we probably could have been P6 or P5 if not for that. So yeah, it was probably opportunity for us to improve a little bit there. Definitely could have got ahead of Alex, maybe Lewis as well, maybe even Ryan, but it wasn't to be, unfortunately, and we are going to be starting from P8, so not much we can do there. Now we're looking at the second Aston Martin man, Dustin Bruins. He's currently 1/10 down on Dougie Falcons. We'll see, can he get the pole position here today? Will he be taking the crown, or will it be Dougie? Dustin comes up to the line now, crosses it. He does improve, but he's 0.02 of a second behind Dougie Falcons, and so it will be another pole for the season champion, Dougie Falcons. And yeah, that was the story of qualifying there. P8 for us. Nobody else improved past me, so yeah, it was a nice P8. And hopefully we can get a good result in both the sprint and the race. I think it's due to rain in the sprint actually, which you know, could work out quite nicely for us. We tend to do a little bit better in the rain than other people. You know, we're a lot more consistent than some other drivers, and just generally speaking, I think we have an opportunity to do something quite special. But yeah, I mean, at the same time, there is every opportunity in the world that it might not work out the way that we want it to. My teammate Antoine has retired from the league due to other commitments, and so this weekend we had Ken's standing in for us instead. Not someone who I was particularly familiar with, but you know, it was nice to have someone racing alongside me under the Haas colours. And yeah, we're going to see if between the two of us, maybe we can grab a double points finish here. But before that, we've obviously got the sprint. It's going to be hard to get a double points finish here, especially with Ken starting in P15. But myself starting in that P8 spot, all I have to do is not lose ground on the start here. And we'll see what we can do as we get ready to go, as the lights come on. And the lights go out, and, well, it's been an okay getaway. I think we had about an even getaway with just about everyone else. Mark coming in to maybe pile a bit of pressure on around the outside here. I brake nice and early, don't want to cause any incidents. Ringy on the outside there. He actually gets tagged a little bit by Lewis, and that causes him to get held up. I try and pile a bit of pressure on him now, see if I can go to the inside of him through the center S's, but we can't quite make the move stick on this occasion. So yeah, we're going to be behind him. I brake nice and early into the next corner, and well, there goes round Ringy. He's had some kind of incident there, and I think Mark had one too, because he's fallen away. It's now Jermaine and Beak up into to P8 and 9, myself up into P7, and we're going to see if we can continue moving forward in this race. But yeah, that was a very, very interesting incident. He just completely lost the back end of the car and went round and into the wall. Not what he would have wanted there, but you know, hopefully he can recover nicely from that, and it's not the end of his race. in any case, we've made up one position already. This means we're going to be scoring a couple points here. That is going to be absolutely crucial for our championship chances, but I still need to try and get ahead of Ryan if I want any hope of finishing P3 in this Drivers' Championship. Ryan and Phil are the two guys who are kind of standing in between me and top 3 finish. It will be Ringy and Lewis there as well. Obviously, they're going to be presenting a bit of a challenge for me as well. But they don't need to be super worried about, especially if Ringy's kind of been put out of this race. But who knows? Maybe he could come back. He won't be coming back from this one, however, because he has retired from the session. And now we move on a few more laps, and you can see that Blitz is off track, and that has allowed me to overtake him, and we are up into P6 now, and hopefully we can hold on to this. However, Blitz is an incredibly fast driver. He has made a few mistakes over the course of the season in the races that he's been in. Notably, of course, he made that mistake in Japan, which actually ended up costing me potentially a podium if I'd have gone on the right strategy, but it didn't end up meaning anything. Blitz, I imagine, will be piling some pressure on us towards the end of the race. You can see he's within a second now. Obviously no DRS in these wet conditions, but I'm still going to try and keep my wits about me, see if I can defend from him for 3 laps. I think it's going to be easier said than done, but I'm ready for the challenge. I'm ready to try and keep a much faster driver behind me. This guy's been challenging for wins. He probably should have had the win in the Netherlands if he hadn't have run out of fuel. He's challenged for podiums in other races this season as well. So he's a very, very competent driver and not someone who's going to be easy to keep behind. And we're going to see what we can do as we try to move forward, or at least hold on to the position. If nothing else, you can see Ryan and Lewis are a bit too far ahead to try and catch in this sprint at least. But Blitz now piling some pressure on. Is he going to try and go for the move into the first corner of lap 7? I think he is, and he dives up the inside, and that is going to be P6 for Blitz here in the Brazilian Grand Prix, and we are back down to P7. All we have to do now is try and hold on to P7. I think we've got a couple more laps to do it. I don't think we're going to be able to get back ahead of Blitz. We actually are pretty fast through the first sector. I don't know if we were running slightly less downforce than most people, because I was even getting purple sectors here in qualifying, which really shouldn't feasibly be possible in my opinion. As we round it into the final corner of the 7th lap of this race, you can see that Blitz is now very far ahead. I don't think we're going to be much of a threat to him. I was overheating the tyres a little bit in the wet, which was causing me to lose a bit of time. That meant that we kind of were just sort of in a bit of a no man's land for a lot of this race, to be honest. And we're going to see if we can have maybe a bit more of an eventful race in itself. But this was not really anything, unfortunately. So we just kind of cruised home. That was our first track limits warning of the entire race, and I'm pretty sure the only track limits warning I actually got all weekend. Spoiler for the actual race. But as Dougie Falcons crosses the finish line, leads home, and Aston Martin 1-2. It is Anto in P3, then Lewis P4, Ryan P5. Blitz will be coming home in P6. We almost get Mike to lap him for just a little bit of bonus points. But that is us up into P7, and we're doing pretty well. To grab a couple points here, I was pretty happy with. I think we probably were the 7th fastest guy here, maybe the 8th fastest guy actually. If Ringy had not made that mistake in terms of pure pace, I think we were exactly where we were meant to be. So unfortunately, it meant that we didn't really have any opportunity to make up any positions. Everyone else just was kind of outpacing me, and hopefully in the dry it will be a different story. Hopefully maybe I'll have the opportunity to get ahead on strategy or something like that. I guess we'll see. But congratulations to Dougie. Just because he's won the championship doesn't mean he's about to take his foot off the gas any, by the looks of things. And that is the sprint done and dusted. You can see the top 10 as we looked at it there. Dougie, Dustin, Anto, Lewis, Ryan, Blitz, myself, NWE, all the point scorers there. Then Jermaine, Mark, Beak, AM, Punisher, Kens, and Mike, with Ringy failing to finish the race. But 15 finishes out of 16 is pretty good. It was actually quite a clean race, I would say. I know that there was a few incidents here and there, especially what with Ringy on lap 1 and then retiring from the Grand Prix. But generally speaking, I think it was pretty clean. So I'm hoping that the race will be much the same, especially because we're going to be starting on the medium tyres. I don't want there to be an early safety car, because obviously I think that there will be people who will be capable of capitalizing on an early safety car if it arises. So hopefully we're able to avoid that, and yeah, we're just going to see whether we can bring it home for another solid points finish in the race as the lights come on. And the lights go out, and let's see. We actually did get a pretty good start this time. We were piling a little bit of pressure on Blitz early, but now we're coming under pressure from NWE on those soft compound tyres. He's going to be a little bit faster than us, obviously, and I think we actually here have the potential to be a little bit faster than Ryan, because he's on the hard compound tyres. Obviously trying to go long here. Maybe he's thinking that, you know, no safety car, that's the right thing to do, but there's already a virtual safety car, and I mean, maybe, honestly, we were a little bit lucky to get away with no safety car, because I saw some clips of the incident that caused it, and there were no less than 5 cars involved in that one. It was Punisher, Mike, Ringy, Kens, and AM, all included in that incident. So yeah, 5 cars getting caught up in a crash. In the end, of course, none of them retired from the race, but yeah, still a bit of a strange one. And well, things are just getting started in terms of what they're kicking off. We're going to go for a move on Ryan here, and we just about get the move done. And then right after we do that, you're about to see 2 drivers have already retired from the race, and a safety car has been deployed. It was a crash involving Ken's AM and Ringy and both of the Williams of Mike and Punisher again. So yeah, it was a pretty crazy one. I think what happened was Mike was missing his front wing, and he was running quite slowly, and it caught quite a lot of people off guard, and that caused a bit of a pile-up, which resulted in the end of the race for AM and Ken's, and also resulted in damage for Damo and Punisher and a bunch of other people. And we've got front wing damage now. Everyone going slowly under the safety car. That was absolutely ridiculous. There was nothing I could do really to avoid that. And as if things couldn't get worse, it also allowed Ryan to overtake me for whatever reason, which, you know, really annoyed me, because I was like, I didn't go off the track or anything at any point, so I don't really see how you can say that I deserved to give that position up to Ryan. But in any case, that's what's happened. So we're just going to have to deal with it, and we're just going to have to try and crack on. The wing damage is only minor. I'm hoping we should be able to keep Jermaine on those hard compound tyres behind us for at least a little bit here. And yeah, what an absolutely stupid situation that's going on there. Everyone was just going so slowly. You know, there would definitely be an investigation for that in a real race. But obviously, it's hard to identify exactly who was at fault in that scenario. But yeah, not something that we were particularly enamoured about, especially those of us who got damage, myself included. I do think that it was perhaps a little bit harsh. So yeah, we're just gonna have to try and soldier on with this front wing damage and see if we can not lose too much ground to the cars behind. Fortunately, you know, Jermaine's on those hard tyres, and also I think just generally speaking, if I had to evaluate myself against him, I would say I maybe have a little bit more pace, and that shone through as we moved to the following laps. And you can see that he was a little bit far behind me as we bring out another safety car. I'm not sure what happened in this scenario, actually. I think it was Ringy again. I'm not sure if he got caught up with someone else on this scenario or what happened. But in any case, it did culminate in what I believe was the end of the race for him. And yeah, he's still going for the time being, but I think he ends up retiring when he comes into the pit lane at the end of this. We're coming into the pits as well. You know, this is early enough now that I think we can quite comfortably go to the end on a set of hard compound tyres. I think if we'd have pitted under the first safety car, it wouldn't have made much sense personally. We also take the opportunity to change that front wing. You know, it was touch and go. We probably could have tried to keep going on the same front wing, but I thought since we have the opportunity to do it, why not give it a try? And yeah, that's the front wing woes kind of calmed down a little bit. And we'll see if we can get a good second stint here on the hard compound tyres. Going to be going 17 laps on a set of hard compound tyres. Should be feasible. There's some people who are even pinning onto a set of mediums and trying to go to the end of the race here. Jermaine and Mark look like that's what they're doing potentially, because they started on the hards, of course, so they had to do something here. The only options were either keep going or whatever. And you can see that there's carnage once again on the safety car restart here. No clue what is going on here. You know, something particularly strange is happening. People are jockeying for position I was getting very scared I was going to go into the back of Dustin here. I was getting increasingly annoyed. In the end, it didn't happen. But yeah, we get a warning for overtaking Mike, but then Mike goes into the pit lane anyway. So yeah, I got no idea what was going on there. But in any case, that is Dougie Falcons off the track there. I don't know what he's doing this far down. I guess maybe he pitted under the safety car. But either way, we're going to try and go for a move on him since he was going slowly. And for the first and maybe only time this season, I am making an overtake on Dougie Falcons. Yeah, I'm gonna savor this moment, and we're gonna try and move up the order as quickly as we possibly can. You know, the grid's a little bit out of order in terms of who's pitted and who hasn't. Obviously, Punisher here, he was running towards the back. He hasn't pitted yet. Myself, Dustin, Lewis, all of us have already pitted. I think NWE pitted under the first safety car because he was on the soft compound tyres to start with. So that's what he decided to do. Dougie Falcons making a significantly interesting double overtake there on myself and Punisher, and then I try and follow through with him to get past Punisher just a few corners later. But yeah, that was an absolutely astounding overtake from Dougie Falcons. Very interesting move there from him, and one of the many reasons why he's undoubtedly the fastest driver in this league, with the possible exception of Dustin. But at every twist and turn this season, Dougie seems to have had Dustin's number in race pace. You know, Quali's been touch and go, but Dustin just hasn't seemed to have had an answer for him in the race itself. So yeah, we're going to see if we can keep moving forward. Jermaine, meanwhile, seems to be pretty quick, as Punisher is out of the session actually. I don't know if he had a crash at the center S's, but that takes the number of drivers in this race down to just 12 now, and we're currently in 9th, so we need to make some moves pretty quickly. I know that there's some people who are scheduled to box at some point during this race. The likes of Ryan, Anto, I think Blitz as well. So the top 3 as they are at the moment, none of them have actually boxed yet. I don't know if Beak has boxed yet either. So that's at least 4 cars here who feasibly we should be able to get ahead of. And yeah, maybe there exists a chance of us getting a P5 finish here, like I said. You know, with NWE as well, he seems to be going a little bit slower than how we're racing. I reckon that there's a chance for me to maybe get ahead of him as well. And this could be me going for P8. We break a little bit too early there, and Jermaine just absolutely picks our pocket there. And now we're both following him through on Beak as well. But Beak is fighting back. Jermaine shoves me off the track there, and we actually do get a track limits warning there. So what I said about track limits was false. But I would say that one wasn't particularly fair, because there wasn't really anywhere I could go. You know, Jermaine swerved to the right. I had to go off track, otherwise we were going to have a crash, and that was the last thing I wanted. So yeah, we try to get ahead of these guys now, and we do have the DRS, which I'm hoping should allow us to go for a bit of a move here. But Beak is side by side with Jermaine. Jermaine sweeps around the outside, and now we are just bleeding time to the cars in front. You know, all these guys who I wanted to race with, you know, the Aston Martins and the top 3 as well, who I still think exists a chance for me to potentially beat them after they box. Not if I keep getting held up like this by Beak. But of course, Beak with absolutely zero racing intelligence here, thinking that me and him are involved in a race because, he hasn't boxed yet and I have. So, yeah, I'm not really sure what he was trying to achieve there. But in any case, we do eventually manage to get ahead of him. And that is us up into P9. But because he's battled us so much there, it did hold us up momentarily at least, which meant we fell away from Jermaine, who now got ahead of NWE as well. We're going to try and go for the move on NWE, and that might be about the only thing we can do to keep Mark behind, who has come through as well. Blitz now has come into the pits. He's going to be going on a set of soft compound tyres to the end of the race. And now we're going to see if we can catch up with Jermaine here as well, who is only 1.3 seconds up the road. Seems like maybe he's started to take the best out of those medium compound tyres. We're going to have to try and do quite a lot here to keep ahead of Mark and NWE here, because both of them are going to have the DRS on me. We actually do manage to hold them off for the time being, and now we're going to see if we can close that gap further to Jermaine in front. But as we come to the end of the lap, you can see that once again the gap just hasn't really closed by that much, and Mark is very, very close to us now, so there is really a big chance for us to get overtaken here by Mark. I would say that he's probably going to go for the move at least, and yeah, he moves to the inside, but then he actually falls back to the outside again. That's the kind of racing I want to see, you know, someone knowing when that they're going to be able to make a move or not, and he was very smart about that. So that was some good racing coming out from Mark. But he's going to have another opportunity here now coming down into turn 4, because we still don't get the DRS to Jermaine. We just about break into Jermaine's DRS range as we get to the end of the straight, but by that point it's a little bit too late, and now it's going to be a 3-way fight between us for what will be P5 at the moment. And then when Anto boxes a little bit later, it will be P4. But actually, you can see that Blitz has caught up with us now. He obviously boxed earlier, and he's onto a set of soft compound tyres. He's already caught us. Due to all this battling that was going on with me and with Beak and with everyone else, it's meant that, yeah, unfortunately, these guys behind have already caught up with us, which is not what I wanted to see whatsoever. But, yeah, it has happened. And so, yeah, we're now coming under pressure from Blitz here. He's diving up the inside. Mark actually boxed again. I didn't really make any reference to that, but yeah, he boxed again. So, again, not really sure why these guys were so desperate to hold the position from me. If they're going to be boxing again, as Blitz makes a bit of a tag there on Jermaine, and then Jermaine rejoins the track very dangerously, I have to say, and gets back ahead of me again, which once again, as you're about to see, he's going to box at the end of this lap, so I really didn't understand why he went for that move. It didn't make any sense to me whatsoever, even when he made it before I knew he was boxing, but especially when I saw him boxing at the end of the lap, I was like, why was he doing that? You know, it didn't really make much sense. If he was trying to defend the position from me, I would have at least understood. It still wouldn't have been a clean move, but at least I would have understood why he was doing it. But yeah, he really just wanted to hold me up as much as possible, I guess. You know, he was pinching me to the outside there a little bit as well. Eventually he does come into the box, and yeah, just really annoying driving from Jermaine, quite frankly. You can see I lost 2 seconds to my best lap there. I know I'm on used hards at this point, but still I should not have been losing that much time. And yeah, very frustrating from Jermaine, because it means that Anto and Ryan were able to close me down very quickly on those soft compound tyres, and you can see that they are just a few tenths behind me now. At least Anto is, and Ryan not that much further behind. They both have 3-second penalties, but I think that if they get ahead now, they'll be able to break away off of those. And yeah, we're going to have to just try and do everything we can to defend from them now, I think. But I don't think that there exists a chance of me being able to keep them behind, and certainly even I don't think there exists a chance of me being able to stay within 3 seconds of them once they overtake. You know, they're on fresh softs, we're on used hards. This is a bit like Max Verstappen on Lewis Hamilton in Abu Dhabi 2021. You know, he just had such a superior tyre compound that it was not even a contest, really. Of course, Mark is coming through the field now on a set of soft compound tyres, but I don't think that he'll be able to make up 14 seconds in 5 laps. I think that's quite optimistic, personally. And so I think we have a pretty good chance of holding on to P7 here, but I think it's going to be dual P7s. Ryan desperately trying to make his way past us now, but he can wait his goddamn turn. You know, we are going to just do everything we can to keep him behind. He can overtake me on the straight like everybody else has had to do, and yeah, he couldn't find the way through, unfortunately. So yeah, he now gets a much better exit from that corner. I don't think we're going to see too much more of him in this race. He's going to break away, he's going to get the DRS. I'm not going to be burning the battery, there's absolutely no point. I don't really want to race with him anyway, because all it's going to do is delay the inevitable, which is Mark catching up with me as well, which is not what I want whatsoever. So yeah, we let Ryan go begrudgingly. In the end of the day, he was just, I wouldn't even say he was on a better strategy, to be perfectly honest with you.
You're catching the car ahead,
I actually think that he just got lucky with the fact that Beak and Mark and Jermaine, despite the fact that they were on different strategies to me, decided to hold me up as much as they did, which, you know, it really irritated me at the time. It really irritated me when I saw that they were on different strategies as well. But that's racing. You know, people are entitled to track position, because anything can happen at any moment. You know, a safety car, I can make a mistake. I get why they do it, but it still bothered me a lot. And yeah, now we're on to the final lap of the race, and it doesn't really seem like anything's going to change. You know, Ryan by this point was 5 seconds up the road. I couldn't stay within that 3-second window no matter how hard I tried. Him and Anto just had a bit too much pace. Dougie finds it easy once again. He picks up almost the maximum gambit of points here this weekend. The only thing he missed out on was fastest lap, which he dropped to Blitz, who ended up coming P4. But yeah, he was on that soft compound tyre at the end, which enabled him to get fastest lap. So it was Dougie from Dustin, from Lewis, from Blitz, from Anto, from Ryan, and then I came home in P7 to make it 2 P7s this weekend. A decent result. But, you know, if we want that top 3 in the championship, we're going to have a hell of a race in Abu Dhabi coming up next. Other than that, Only 10 finishes in this race in the end, so maybe I should have done a little bit better here. But the other thing about that is that basically everyone who didn't finish was behind me anyway. You know, NWE obviously had a retirement there as well. Mike actually ended up getting disqualified due to, I believe, accumulated collisions and track limits warnings. Yeah, a difficult race weekend for him. But actually, in the end, he acquired so many penalties post-race for some of the incidents that he was involved in that it was actually a race ban for him. So yeah, disappointing for him, but maybe he'll bounce back stronger in the second season. Who knows? Dougie presses L to levitate there, and yeah, he completes the podium alongside Dustin and Lewis, and it's been a dominant season for him. I think 7 victories. I think Dustin's picked up 1, Ringy's picked up 2, Lewis has picked up 1, and then all of the other victories this season have gone to Dougie Falcons, which is pretty impressive considering I'm pretty sure he's actually missed 3 races as well. So Lewis Crazy, the only man in this league to have beaten Dougie in a race that he's actually raced in as well. So yeah, that's the honour that will go to him, unless of course Abu Dhabi is different, but that remains to be seen. So yeah, there's your final classification. It was Dougie from Dustin, from Lewis, from Blitz, from Anto, from Ryan, from myself, from Mark, from Jermaine, from Beak, and then the retirements, NWE, Punisher, Alex, AM, Kens, and Mike was disqualified. So that is that. A decent result for us. You know, we picked up 8 points over the course of the weekend. Not bad, but certainly I wanted a little bit more. We just didn't really get the luck that we were hoping for, and hopefully we can bounce back stronger. But that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure you like and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.